Many Americans today are finding themselves in a strange and frustrating position. Your income may have gone up, perhaps even significantly over the last few years. You might be earning more than you ever have before, and yet there's a persistent, nagging feeling that you're falling behind. You look at your bank account at the end of the month, and the numbers don't seem to reflect your hard work. You feel poorer, even though on paper you should be richer. This isn't just a feeling, it's a widespread economic reality for millions. The reason is that the financial landscape has changed in subtle but profound ways, making money feel harder than it used to. The most obvious culprit is inflation. But its effect isn't just about the price of gasoline or a carton of eggs going up. Inflation works in a much more insidious way. It quietly and systematically changes your spending behavior without you ever making a conscious decision to do so. When the cost of everything rises, from your groceries to your utility bills, your baseline cost of living increases. This isn't a one-time event. It's a slow, steady creep that erodes your purchasing power. A salary that felt comfortable 2 years ago now feels tight. The $5 coffee you used to buy without a second thought now represents a more significant portion of your daily budget, even if the price hasn't changed, because the value of that dollar has decreased. This slow erosion is difficult to track day to day, but its cumulative effect is immense. It creates a constant, low-level financial pressure that leaves you wondering where all your money is going. This leads to a more subtle problem, the unnoticed escalation of your lifestyle costs. As your income grows, it's natural to want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Perhaps you moved to a slightly larger apartment, upgraded your car, or started dining out a bit more frequently. These decisions often feel justified at the time, small rewards for professional progress. However, inflation acts as an accelerant on these new costs. The maintenance on that newer car is more expensive. The utilities for that larger apartment cost more. The price of that restaurant meal has likely increased by 15 or 20%. Your income may have risen by 5%, but your new, slightly elevated lifestyle costs have risen by 10% or more. This mismatch happens quietly in the background. You're not being reckless, you're simply living, but the goalposts of financial comfort have moved further away, faster than you can run. At the same time, convenience has become one of the biggest invisible money leaks in the modern household. We live in an economy built on immediate gratification. Food can be delivered to your door in minutes. Anything you can imagine can be purchased with a single click and arrive the next day. This convenience is a powerful and seductive force, especially when you feel overworked and time poor. But every one of these small transactions comes with a premium. Delivery fees, service charges, subscription costs, and the simple markup on the product itself. Ordering a $15 meal for delivery can easily become a $25 expense after fees and a tip. Subscribing to multiple streaming services, each just a few dollars a month, adds up to hundreds of dollars a year. These are not major one-time purchases that you budget for. They are 1,000 tiny cuts to your financial health, each one so small that it seems insignificant on its own. But together, they create a substantial and often unnoticed drain on your resources, making it nearly impossible to get ahead. The problem is compounded by the fact that the entire economic system is engineered to reward spending, not saving. From the moment you wake up, you are bombarded with messages encouraging you to consume. Social media algorithms show you products you might like. Credit card companies offer you rewards and points for every dollar you spend. Retailers use sophisticated psychological tactics to encourage impulse purchases. The message is clear and constant. Spending is easy, rewarding, and the default behavior. Saving, on the other hand, is hard. It requires deliberate action, delayed gratification, and swimming against a powerful cultural and commercial tide. High-yield savings accounts offer returns that barely keep pace with, and often lose to, true inflation. Investing carries risk and requires knowledge. The path of least resistance is always to spend, and this systemic bias makes building a financial cushion an uphill battle. This environment has led to a painful realization for many in the middle class. Doing everything right no longer guarantees financial stability. The traditional playbook: get a good education, work hard at a steady job, buy a home, save for retirement. is no longer a foolproof formula for security. People who have followed these rules diligently are finding themselves stretched to their limits. They have the mortgage, the car payment, and the steady paycheck, but they are one unexpected expense away from a crisis. A major car repair, a sudden medical bill, or a leaking roof can be enough to completely derail their finances. This is because the margin for error has shrunk. The safety net that a middle-class income once provided has become thinner and more fragile. The sense of security that was once the hallmark of a middle-class life has been replaced by a persistent feeling of vulnerability. As a result, money stress has become a normalized chronic condition for a huge portion of the American population, including those who would be considered financially successful by traditional metrics. It's the constant mental calculus of juggling bills, the anxiety that comes with an unexpected expense, and the quiet guilt over small splurges. This stress isn't just about a lack of money, it's about a lack of control. It's the feeling that no matter how hard you work or how carefully you plan, you are perpetually at the mercy of external economic forces. This is a significant shift. Financial stability today is no longer about accumulating vast wealth or living a life of luxury. For most people, stability now means something much more fundamental: having control over your finances. It means knowing you can cover your bills each month without anxiety. It means having a small buffer for emergencies. It's the ability to make choices based on your values, not on financial desperation. It's about achieving a state of financial peace, not just a larger number in a bank account. To navigate this new reality, what is required is not a get-rich-quick scheme or a new side hustle. It is a fundamental mindset shift. The first step is to move from passive participation to active awareness. It means looking at your finances not with fear or judgment, but with calm, objective clarity. You must understand precisely where your money is going, not as a way to shame yourself, but as a way to gather information. This means tracking your spending, categorizing your expenses, and identifying the patterns that have emerged without your consent. It's about seeing the true cost of convenience and the slow creep of lifestyle inflation in black and white. This awareness is the foundation of control. You cannot change what you do not see. By simply observing your own financial behavior without immediate pressure to change it, you begin to demystify your own situation. The anxiety of the unknown is replaced by the power of information. The goal here is not to adopt a life of extreme austerity. It is to regain agency. Once you have a clear picture of your financial life, you can begin to make small, deliberate choices that align with your true priorities. This might mean canceling a subscription you don't use, or planning meals for the week to reduce reliance on expensive food delivery. It could mean creating a specific automatic savings plan, no matter how small, to begin building a buffer. These are not drastic measures. They are small, conscious course corrections. The objective is not to hustle harder, but to think more clearly. It is about understanding the systems that are designed to make you spend and making an intentional choice to step outside of them, even in small ways. The feeling of being financially overwhelmed often comes from a sense of powerlessness. By focusing on awareness and small, intentional actions, you begin to reclaim that power. The world will continue to be expensive, and the pressures to spend will not disappear. But you can change your relationship with your money, moving from a state of reactive stress to one of proactive control. And in today's economy, that control is the real definition of financial well-being.